Hello, I'm Rich Foley from the Blue Rose Copper and Restoration Shop. And here I have a antique copper lantern. It was converted from gas to electric. The lantern's probably well over 100 years old, probably circa early 1900s. This light came off of a mansion in Rochester, New York. And a friend of mine called me and said, I have an old light that a tree hit and smashed and crushed and knocked off a building. Would you be able to do anything with it? And I said, well, let me give it a try. So this thing was crushed pretty bad, and I put it back together, and I'm going to show you step by step how I did that. So I'm going to take you to my shop and show you the process of how I did this. Here is the copper lantern that I'm going to restore. It's a six-sided light. It's a hexagon. And when a tree hit it, it mangled it pretty bad. And it caved in all the sides. It broke all the glass, bent all the uprights. And what I'm probably going to have to do is maybe replace a couple or straighten them out, maybe resolder some joints. And it had this beautiful colored stippled glass in it, which I'm going to have to find that antique glass. In the bottom, I'm going to have to replace the bottom with a piece of screen. That bottom actually has a hinge on it that opens so you can replace the light bulb, but it also has a piece of screen on it to keep any insects out. That'll be a bronze screen. And it has a really nice shape to it. It has a beautiful patina on it that's an aged finish. And this cast light hung on that bracket, which is attached to the side of the house at an entrance. And the brass bracket, or the bronze bracket, is just, great. It's got some great details on it. It's all cast, all the leaves and the decorative pieces on it. It was really a very impressive light for the entrance of a house. So I'm going to bring it back the way it originally was and replace the glass, replace the lighting, and we'll get it all restored back to its original. I cut an octagon piece of wood, 3/4 inch plywood. Then I'm going to screw that to the bottom of this light. What that's going to do is hold everything in a position so I can stand it upright and start to reef this thing back into position. Now I'm going to take my sheet metal tongs and I'm going to start to try to form the mangled uprights into a straight position to see if I can form this thing back and get it started in its correct shape. Here I have the copper lantern after I straightened out the sides. And what I use to straighten out the sides are an assortment of sheet metal tongs. I needed the different shapes to straighten the sides out and they all worked fine. I didn't have to hammer on it. You never want to hammer on copper unless necessary, because hammering on it with a steel hammer will stretch it out. So I straightened out the sizes as best I could, and then I soldered in a screen in the bottom so that keep any of the insects out of the lantern. And this is a new hinge that I made. I made this hinge. You have to open in order to change the light bulbs. And I also installed a new socket. So this is almost ready to go, except for the glass. I bought new glass, cut it to size, which I'm going to install now. So this is the finished product. I restored this lantern as close to the original as possible. I replaced the glass with yellow stained glass, and all finished, ready to install on a house. You can install any kind of light bulb that you want in it, and it looks great for the entrance of a house. I'm Rich Foley. This is the Blue Rose Copper and Restoration Shop, and thanks for watching.